Hey, my name is Teresa again, and I'm back for another video. I just decided to come on here and maybe talk about what it is to be a new graduate nurse. I kind of am not considered to be a new graduate nurse, but I am really, because I've been a working nurse for 9 months, and I'm just going to give my quick experience about how I felt being a new graduate nurse. Being a new nurse was very nerve-wracking. It's very nervous, especially when you get your first job. And, I came from not really having anything. I came from a single-parent household. My mom worked her ass off to make sure that she provided for us and kept a roof over our heads. So when I did get into college, I got accepted into good colleges, but I couldn't really afford it. You either got to be an athlete or you got to be like a genius in order to get some good scholarships. But I got a few, but, back to what I was saying. I went for an interview, and who I would recommend when you go for your first interview for some good tips would be, what's her name? Power RN, Empower RN. She is another YouTuber here on YouTube, another nurse. She is phenomenal. She has a video there that she goes through the steps that she took and different tips that would be helpful and what they ask you in the interview. And when I tell you 90% of what she went over in that video was helpful, and that's exactly what I was asked, go over there. I'll leave a link in the description box. I think that'll be extremely helpful. And you got to tweak it to your liking and your experiences as well in your life. What I would say again, I was very nervous when I first started my first job. I was there in my first job for 8 months. I was in a very supportive environment. I would say when you get your first job, as much as you can't control what you'll encounter and what you'll come in contact with, because you really don't know, I would say try and be in an environment where you're comfortable, where you feel supported, where you feel like you can ask somebody anything, excuse me. And that's what I felt like I was in. I felt like I was in a very comfortable environment. I'm doing this on my phone, so that's why I'm switching back and forth, because my hands get tired. But yeah, I worked on a med-surg floor. It was very busy. However, there were slow points. But one thing I would definitely say is try and get something that you can write down notes. Don't remember every little thing. It's kind of impossible for you to remember every little thing you and your preceptor did, or a protocol or whatever. Use your resources when you're there at work, whether it be the resources, the policies and procedures that they give you on the intranets of your job sites, whether it be that one experienced nurse that you feel really comfortable with. Never be afraid to ask questions. Ask questions as much as possible, because one thing that I always say is why and what. Why are we doing this? How come we're doing this? Do we have a doctor's order? Always do that. Know the right thing to do. Sometimes when you may come onto a job, you may get somebody precepting you that may be giving you their way of doing things, or because they've been in the game for a while, they may be giving you their version of something. Always know what the right way is to do something, and tweak it to your liking, but always be within your protocols and your procedures to cover yourself. Another thing I would say as a new grad, have that gut instinct. They always say use your critical thinking skills. You learn that little PowerPoint in school, critical thinking, but that is real. But in some ways, I would say you kind of don't get that off the bat. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for some people to get that there's something wrong, that initiative in your gut. But start listening to yourself. And that comes with trusting yourself and being more confident, learning your floor, understanding what's expected of you, and being there for your patients, because they're the #1 person that needs to be in your mind. Also, for me, I felt like when people came to visit my patients, always try and be as greeting to them and as comfortable with them as you are with your patient. My big thing, I always like to offer drinks and stuff like that. I don't know, this is kind of off topic, but something that'll help you to stand out when it comes to those surveys that your patients do. Because let me tell you, a lot of places where you go, your patients and their families will get surveys about how their experience was, and you want to make your company look proud and be happy to have you. So one thing you always want to do is always welcome people with an open heart, an open smile. I always like to offer something to drink or something to eat, and also to see if they were comfortable. You know, that was my main initiative, because I had a patient, family member, come to me many times and tell me how they appreciated my attitude and how I came to work. And someone once told me that your attitude determines your altitude, and they didn't know who the author of that was, that quote, and I really don't know to this day. But what I would say is always go to work with a good attitude. Ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid. If you're not in an environment where you feel supported, just leave, you know. But never leave one job before you have another, and try your best to stick it out, you know, and know that, I don't know if everybody is, or whoever is watching my videos believes in God, but I believe in a higher power in Lord Jesus Christ. And I believe that whatever you put your mind to and you keep your faith in, you'll make it through. So I currently am now a labor and delivery nurse, and I'm very excited and happy in the area that I'm in. I have a wonderful company, and you know, you work hard to get to where you want to be. So any questions, anything else, I'll try and make another video, because I kind of like this, just a little quickie thing going on. But yeah, stay blessed.